If we want to make this look like Yellowstone, we need to change the western desert to look more like a series of volcanic deposits. Go to the Ground Editor, Material page. Select Show Advanced Features on the title bar if you don't have the material gradient showing. Show Material Controls at the right end of the gradient to access Material Gradient Controls. This ground effect is made up of two materials controlled by the Material Gradient driver. The left color pin is flat, the right color pin is the steep material. Click the Material Gradient Driver Texture Operations button and edit texture. Texture uses a dynamic parameter, one that changes depending on a project parameter. In this case, slope is the parameter controlling the texture. The slope goes from an input low of 0 degrees to an input high of 9 degrees of slope. These are the same numbers that appear at each end of the material gradient in the editor. This texture is using terrain slope to place the flat and steep materials. Close the texture editor. To see all flat material properties, make its material pin active and show material controls again to hide the controls. The selected material section shows that the flat material has a diffuse color texture. When there's a texture, it supersedes the color well. When the texture has transparency, the color well color will show through. Select the Diffuse Color Well to open its color editor. Change the color to yellow, red 255, green 255, blue 0. Keep the color and disable the texture. Click the right pin in the material gradient to make the steep material active. Click its color well and change the color to blue, red 0, green 0, and blue 255. Keep. Disable the texture and strata channel. Save the project and render a preview. Simple colors are a good way to evaluate ground effect and ecosystem coverage. The blue slope material needs to render farther down the slope. Show diagnostic data in the lower scene at a glance pane, and click and drag at the base of the foreground hills to see the slope values. You'll see they're somewhere between 20 and 30 degrees. Show material controls for the material gradient. We'd like a sharper transition between the flat and steep materials. Select the flat yellow pin and change the position to 20%. Select the steep blue pin, change it to 30%. Flat material will give way to steep material between 20 and 30% of 90 degrees or between 18 and 27 degrees. Hide the material controls. Save the project and render a preview. That's the transition we're looking for, so enable the diffuse color texture and strata. Go to the flat material pin, enable its texture. Save the project and render a preview.